Right, after you've installed Sequetron LE, run it, acknowledge the prompt, and go into Settings, Ports and MIDI, and make sure you've got the MIDI input port set to whatever your sledge is connected to. If it's wrong, highlight it and click the left arrow to deassign it, then pick the correct one from this list on the left. I'm using input A on my 4x4 MIDI Sport, so highlight it and click the right arrow, and it's now a Sequetron port. You'll also need an output, although we're not using it at the moment, and typically it will be this Microsoft wavetable synth, but it doesn't really matter. Click Done when finished, and then click Run. And now Sequetron's listening for traffic coming in on the MIDI input socket, and it will flash any errors on the status line here. So I'll just give you an example. I'll turn the master volume control and show you the fault, and there we go, warning invalid MIDI. I'll go into the details later on, but that's all we need just to keep an eye on the screen as you're twiddling the knobs on the sledge, and you'll easily spot any invalid or rogue MIDI messages. Okay, now we notice there's no effects on this particular patch. Effect 1 and effect 2 are both off. If I turn the master volume control, you can see we're getting MIDI errors. If I turn the chorus on, you'll see no MIDI errors. The little red light flashing on the on Sequetron, I don't know if you can see the mouse, but over here this is flashing red whenever a MIDI message comes in. So you can see as I turn the master volume, MIDI messages are coming in and there are no errors. Right, we'll put the phaser on. Again, no errors. Flanger, no errors. We'll turn it off and suddenly we get errors. Now we'll look at effect 2. If I put reverb on, we get errors. If I put delay on, no errors. If I put delay and reverb, still no errors. In fact, I've gone through every possible combination, and the only two occasions where you get these MIDI errors are if either reverb is on its own and nothing else, like here, or if there are no effects on at all and you get an error. So if you're in this situation and you want to have a program with no effects, one simple way is to use either the chorus, the flanger or the phaser and turn the depth to 0, and that's effectively giving you a fix for the MIDI fault but with no effects. Okay, if you want to see more information about the MIDI traffic, you can go to Tools and click Diagnostics, and here you'll see a window which displays MIDI traffic subject to these checkboxes down the bottom. If I check Input and Controllers, we can do pitch, bend and pressure. Don't bother with the timing clocks because you'll just see millions of messages scroll by. But now if we turn the master volume control, you can see the trace. This is CC number 7, which is a standard one for volume, and you can see the values going up and down as you turn the volume. If we change the effects now such that we get the error, let's knock all the effects off, and you'll now see invalid messages appearing in the log corresponding to the flashes on the main screen. Now if you want to look at the data in more detail, the byte display on the diagnostic screen is in reverse. The bytes are in reverse order. So for example, the second one shown on the screen here is really a B00D00 command, and it looks perfectly valid, looks to be a standard controller message, but the MIDI device driver, the underlying driver provided by Microsoft, that's the thing that's flagged an error to the application, which in this case is Sequetron. Now because it's gone through the device driver, I'm not sure what bytes are actually valid. It might have added the status value itself. Without going to the low level and monitoring the raw MIDI from the sledge, we can't find out using a program running on a PC like this. This is a microcontroller project which monitors MIDI directly without the use of any drivers. Now as before, the only connection on the sledge is the MIDI out, and that goes into a tiny MIDI board here, which then goes into this microcontroller, and it displays the raw bytes. Okay, I'm now going to turn the master volume control. That's up, now down. The blue line on the screen is just the last line that was written. The screen's very simple, it just wraps round. I'll show a close-up of this in a minute, and you should be able to see the MIDI bytes that comprise the master volume control message. They're in sets of 3. There's a B0, which is a controller message on MIDI channel 1, followed by the controller number, which in this case is 7. We saw that before on Sequetron's diagnostic log. And then the third byte is the level, the actual volume level. And if you follow the sets of 3, you'll see the values are going up because I'm increasing the volume. Now, any bytes that don't conform to this are potentially rogue messages. Now it's possible that other controllers are sending out their signals at the same time, which is perfectly valid, but I'm only altering the volume control. And you can see some of these bytes do not belong in this stream of data. Now this is all using the firmware on the sledge, which is called Black 206A, and it's a beta release, so this is not indicative of the official release, which should be out soon, but it just shows there is a particular problem at the moment which you may have in earlier versions. Okay, that's it now. Thanks for watching.